So what would you do with $550 billion? Cars, houses, maybe a little stock in the new public Facebook, Stop Pony. I doubt purchasing insulin for diabetes patients is the first thing that comes to mind. This year, Americans will pay over $550 billion in healthcare costs for obesity-related problems. Those are two very controversial topics this year: the universal health care and the obesity epidemic. And we do. Even if it's not your problem personally, if it's Americans' problem, it's our problem. Today, I will enlighten your knowledge on the relation between Americans' obesity epidemic and its effect on your life through the new universal health care reform, as well as the causes for the madness and the easy solutions. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 42% of the population is considered to be obese. Now, you're considered obese if you're an adult who has a BMI of 30 or higher. BMI is body mass index, which uses height and weight to determine your body fat. Obesity has many health problems, both temporary and long-term. Diabetes is one of the issues. It's a disease that 20 million Americans live with. As explained in the U.S. National Library of Medicine, diabetes is where high levels of sugar in the blood affects the pancreas, which makes insulin. Insulin moves sugar or glucose from the bloodstream into muscle fat. Then that is used as fuel. Unfortunately, diabetes patients can't make sugar into fat because their pancreas doesn't make enough insulin. Heart disease is another relation to obesity, and heart disease and stroke are the top causes of death in the U.S. High blood pressure and high cholesterol are also major factors related to obesity and being overweight. So what are the reasons Americans are becoming so overweight? One of the biggest factors is our love for fast food. For years, fast food establishments, especially McDonald's, have been on the chopping block for scandals with health regulations, food sanitation, and food quality. It's an issue, but remember, we're the driving fact. We're the driving source behind the problem. Literally, we're the ones driving through the drive-thru and purchasing their products. The Oscar-winning documentary Super Size Me by Morgan Spurlock was really a wake-up call for the dangers and effects of fast food. Now, we don't eat McDonald's every day, 3 times a day, and always have to supersize it. But the rate and extent to which his health deteriorated from doing those things was really shocking. He gained 25 pounds, had liver problems, and suffered from depression, all from eating burger and fries. The author of the New York bestseller, Fast Food Nation, laid out some shocking facts about the fast food industry as well. He said in an interview with CBS Health Watch, Americans spend $110 billion more on fast food than in any recreational fun, as movies, music, magazines, books, theme park visits, all combined. But the food itself and the way it's prepared is really the issue. The majority of chicken sold nowadays is sold in chunks as opposed to the whole bird because of the high demand for chicken nuggets. Fast food is a manufactured commodity, which is manufactories, processed, and frozen, and stuffed with artificial flavoring. A typical fast food burger can contain meat from a dozen different cattle. He said after writing the book he didn't want another burger. And after I saw the movie and read the book when I was 12 years old, I haven't had fast food since. So how does it affect you? You are an obese and you don't spend 10 of your 21 typical meals a week eating at a fast food joint, so why do you care? Obama's new health care reform has been very controversial. The bill is over 1,000 pages, so the Huffington Post provided main points. It has no more denials for previous conditions, no more young adults. More young adults can be covered by their parents' plans. New insurance plans must pay for preventative care as well. But it all leads to higher taxes for higher income people in America. And so we know the biggest cause of death in America are heart disease and diabetes, which remember affects 42% of the population. And what's the main effect? What's the main cause of obesity? Poor diet, i.e. fast food. It's all linked. The more fast food we eat, the more obesity. The more obesity, the more problems in healthcare that we are going to have to pay for. It's all linked. But there is hope. Simple solutions can help soothe these problems. As posted on dailybeast.com, Michelle Obama, our First Lady, has started the Let's Move campaign, a campaign against childhood obesity. She actually has PSAs on Disney Channel and stuff like that relating to kids to help them get out there. The U.S. Department of Health and Home Services has spent $372 billion to provide schools with healthier foods and places to exercise in rural and urban communities. If you don't want to be with some of the Americans paying $550 billion in healthcare costs for obesity-related problems this year, then think again the next time you're driving through the drive-thru. Thank you.
All right, Richard, what did you think?
I like the introduction. You mentioned $550 billion, got my attention. You had good ideas and good examples to support it, and you had smooth transitions.
Okay. Yeah, I think the number at the beginning is nicely illustrated when you talk about all the ways it could potentially be used, and then you explain that that is really a cost that we're going to be facing because of healthcare issues related to obesity. I thought that that was pretty effective. You've got a good setup of what your goal is, and there's a pretty good preview of what the content's going to be. I think your internal signposts are okay. Sometimes I think you could be a little bit clearer as you're going through, but I could usually make out where we were in the body of the speech. I thought that you did a nice job talking about, defining obesity, telling us how widespread it is, relating it to some things that people might be familiar with on causality, and focusing on individual responsibility. The issue of solutions seems to be a little underdeveloped. I've got the Let's Move program, and the government's giving healthier food to a variety of groups. I'm not sure that any of that is going to show that we are going to be able to fix this particular problem. It felt to me like that was underdeveloped and it needed more attention. Also, I think that your conclusion just kind of shows up very quickly. I was surprised that you were done. I thought that there was going to be a little bit more. I thought you had a good exit line, but you needed more of a summary, and I think you needed to kind of develop that solution a lot more. On delivery issues, you are reading a lot. Now, the nice part is that you read it pretty well. You've got good vocal variety in your voice while you're doing that. Your face is animated while you're speaking, and that's all solid. But you are really dependent on your notes, and as a consequence, I didn't ever feel like you were connecting with the audience by engaging us with your eye contact. That needs to be stronger. Your gestures are okay. Occasionally, you've got the nervous leg crossing that appears to be a little bit awkward, and it's only about 5.5 minutes, so you've got room to put in some more content here. All right, thank you very much.